Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. I've got a packed program, so let's just get straight into it. But before I begin, the usual disclaimer, please remember all my videos are for educational purposes only. Nothing should be taken as financial advice. Please do your wider research before making any important decisions. So with that out of the way, I'm going to be starting off with a general overview of the market from last week. And the reason why this is important is because it can have a very big bearing down here. Because if you look here, from the 69,000, as I mentioned before, we had these relief rallies, but this one is the biggest of them all so far when you consider the previous rallies. So that's auguring very, very well so far. However, the downtrend of this is so strong that despite the big rally that we've had just recently, in each of the previous rallies to these points, what we've had is a lower low being made from the previous rally. From there, we made another lower low. From there, we made another lower low. And the danger here and the potential is that we could quite easily from here come back down and make another lower low there. So we're going to go into the analysis and see what's the most likely and most probable outcome of what's happening here. And last week I was showing you all the patterns of the candles as they were developing over here. And I looked at this particular candle and showed you why this was very important in the development of all the pattern of the price movements here. And basically what I was saying was that the top of this wick here and the bottom of this wick here with this candle, this gravestone doji candle, was directing the price action of everything around here. And I said that there was a 20% probability of breaking up simply because this is a very strong gravestone doji candle, which is very bearish and has the power to bring the price down. However, that 20% probability is what played out here. There was actually an 80% probability that it was going to break down here. And at one stage, it did look like that. And if you look throughout history of Bitcoin, this gravestone doji, as we found at the top of the previous big rally that we had back in 2019, this is the power it has, that at the top of its wick, nothing came back up once we hit that candle here. And that was the beginning of the downward decline all the way down to these levels in the COVID situation. So this is how powerful that candle is. So the fact of the matter is that we broke to the upside and the 20% probability played out. That invalidated this candle. Rest in peace. So a new rally has now begun from here to up here. And if you've been watching my videos, I've been showing you that we've been having 2-month cycles in the last year. And we're now due a big rally over here for the next 2 to 3 months, just like we've been having a 3-month downfall here. So a big rally was due, and we may well be in the middle of all that with a lot more upside to come. So I tweeted last Friday when we broke above the 3896 level here, and we'd reached about 40,600. And I said that the next logical level will be 40 to 41,000. That's where we've been hanging around for the last 3 days. But I did say that if we have a strong momentum, then higher levels will obviously be reached. And while I'm here, for those of you who like the Wisdom Bite section, i.e. the inspirational, motivational, personal development side of things, then I've just posted this morning a very beautiful story to learn life lessons with. It's basically called The Obstacles in Your Path. For some reason, I was having a problem with the link here. It's not playing there from my side. It may play from your side, but it's only a couple of minutes long. It's an amazing lesson to learn, and it's called The Obstacles in Your Path. So if you go to the YouTube and type that in, it's by To Do Motivation, a channel called To Do Motivation. So please do come to the Twitter page because I do post quite a few bits and pieces here in between my videos. And my Twitter page is always advertised below all of my videos here. So if you click the link there, you'll be able to go straight into my Twitter page. So currently, we're now at around about 42,300. Having been as high as around about $43,000 mark. However, over the weekend, I did say that we may be pausing here to form this inverted head and shoulders pattern, which is basically this here with the left shoulder, this here as the head, and we may well be coming back up to these levels here at around 44,000 to form this head here, and then maybe coming back down again to form the right shoulder. We do need to be aware of these levels, and if that was to form, then the potential would be from this wick down here to this level of 43,800, 44,000, and that would be a 33% to the upside. If we measure that, that would take us to around about this level here, which I've marked out at 58,000. And this is obviously historically been a very key level. Over here as resistance, over here as support, resistance and support over here, etc. And if we move to the left of that, you'll see that again, this has been support and resistance all the way there. So very key level. And that's why this inverted head and shoulders may well prove a key to getting us to those levels. However, as you can see, there's lots of resistance along the way. It's not an easy journey for Bitcoin to get quickly up there. So basically that's the overview. This is what's the general view of the market as it's been happening over the last week or so. What I want to do is to actually give you both the bullish case from where we are here and the bearish case. As intelligent investors, we don't want to let our natural affinity for the price to want to move up get in the way of the reality of what could possibly happen here. So let me make the bullish case out first. Basically what's happened is we've broken this very key psychological level of the $40,000 mark. And as you know, when we were coming down here, I always said that the 40K or 39,600, but let's call it 40,000. Once that breaks, that would be the line in the sand for me. And that's basically where I became underweight. And I then started accumulating over here because of the candlestick patterns that were developing. And that led to this move up here. But I was expecting the price to come back down to these levels, around $34,000, $35,000 mark, to create a double bottom pattern here. Obviously, that didn't play out. However, it is better to be accumulating over here than down there. Now you may think that I'm going a bit mad here, but please hear me out. If I was still accumulating down here, the danger was that we could fall further down from here to the 28 and beyond level. So that threat was very real at these levels. However, having gone above the key level of the 40,000, this gives us that bit more clarity that the direction of Bitcoin is now more to the upside without the big threat that the price was going to go down much lower. And that's why it's much safer to actually accumulate at these levels around 40. So I started accumulating once we got past this doji candle on a 4-hour close. And when I looked at the momentum that was developing, the volume wasn't as great as I would have liked it, but on balance, I decided to jump in once a 4-hour closed in the afternoon here on Friday. And that was part of my swing trade, which I'm hoping to sell around these levels here, around 45, 46. And obviously, if it goes past the 46 and closes above there, then I'll just basically jump on back again. But there is a high degree of probability that we're going to get rejected at this level and then come back and find support around about the $40,000 mark down here. And the bearish case is obviously that we come up to this $45,000 mark, and this is a key level now here, because if we get rejected and then fall back below this 40,000 again, then it is my belief that I don't think we're going to hold this 33 down on the way down, because this bearish momentum is very, very strong. And I think people will get to the point over here at 40 and become extremely bearish. And the support levels at these levels will be very, very weak. And then we're looking at not even 28, but we're looking at 24,000 if that happens. So it's absolutely critical we keep a strong support at the 40,000 plus mark. As I went through these candlestick patterns last week with you, the overall view I took was that these candles formed a very strong reversal pattern here. So while this downturn was very, very strong, it was met by a very strong reversal pattern. And this pattern here, which developed over the last few days, is a morning star candlestick pattern, which is very, very powerful. And these patterns are usually found at the end of strong downturns like this. So for me, it seems to have provided a good reversal pattern. That doesn't mean this is off the table. It just means, again, back to probabilities, a higher probability that we've bottomed out. I firmly believe that this is the bottom. We have bottomed out. And if we move to the daily chart, again, this is looking very bullish now. We've managed to get above the 8 and the 21, and now we seem to be going well above the 34 EMA over here. And the last time we went above the 34 exponential moving average was over here, when we had a breakout from these levels with this candle, this is what happened. We went from about 44 all the way up to these levels at 69. And what this tells me, once you get above these moving averages, is that at this point when we went above the 34 exponential moving average, that to me was a sign that there's a seller exhaustion taking place. Because if the sellers wanted to, they could have pushed it back from these levels, but they were unable to do so. So looking at swing trades, which is what I'm looking at, and please remember, this is just my perspective of what I'm doing. So for me, the levels I'm looking at, as I said, I've accumulated down here and around the $40,000 mark here. And my expectation is to take profits at around about the $45.5 mark here, with a pullback anywhere in this region of around about 40, 41 for further accumulation to take it back to these levels again. So these are the two swing trade levels I'm looking at currently in the shorter term. And obviously further ahead, once we break up above the $46,000 mark, the next swing trade will be for me to take it up to the $52,000, $53,000 mark here. And as you can see, whenever we've come to this level, we've got rejected initially. So I would be expecting another pullback down here to give us another accumulation point somewhere down there. And we'll get to that when we get to it nearer the time. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you found value in the video. If you did, then please do remember to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. And if you have any comments, questions or suggestions, then please leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.